Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So, some news coming out from Town Hall and other sources report that Republican Matt Gaetz is threatening Jack Smith with criminal contempt of Congress. Now, a move like this, it's only in response to what a lot of us view as politically motivated charges and investigations against President Trump. So, Gaetz is pushing for House Republicans to call Smith before the Judiciary Committee. And he says if he doesn't comply, he would like to see him held in criminal contempt of Congress. That would make him the first prosecutor in American history to ever prosecute a case fall under criminal contempt himself. So Gaetz, he's even proposing that if Attorney General Merrick Garland doesn't somehow slow this train down and rein in this situation, which of course is not likely, that's not going to happen, that he should face immediate impeachment. And let me know in the comments what you think of that. I think that's a pretty tall order to impeach someone over something that's still ongoing, but I think that there's plenty that they could probably impeach AG Garland over. But the situation is significant, man, because many people have argued and many people believe the ongoing indictments against Trump and the circus that this is turning into, and it's just happening mainly because Republicans are allowing it, and a lot of observers, I don't know if you guys follow DC Drano, but they pointed out the GOP holds a majority in the House. So in theory, if they wanted to, they could impeach Garland today. They could even impeach Joe Biden, but the Democrats, they feel, they're emboldened by this kind of thing. The Republicans, they're always unable and unwilling to take any action. Let me know in the comments if you agree, but I believe that they pretty much never do what needs to be done. And many of them, like all politicians, they talk a great game. They'll go on TV and they'll tell us all about the weaponization of government and all about alleged Biden bribery. But all it is talk. And all it is investigations, just like Benghazi, just never-ending talking. We see it with Kevin McCarthy right now, and I remain hopeful. He is surprising me, but they almost never get it done. It's been said, and I agree, that the Democrats, their audacity is enabled by a Republican Party that is weak and timid and literally controlled by donors. And I found this quote on Twitter, and it sums it up perfect. We're never going to win until we realize that playing by the rules is never going to work against another side that believes that there are no rules. And how freaking true is that? Because here's the thing. Democrats have been exploiting the weak Republicans for decades, if not longer. The Democrats are willing to employ strategies that they know that if the Republicans, they would never use them, because out of fear that if they did answer, the Democrat actions with the same actions, it would harm the nation. They literally have, in a sense, the Democrats become like a bunch of impossible to control kids. They don't even know why they do what they do or that it's wrong. They act recklessly, and they know that their parents are never going to punish them for it, never going to react in a way that would hurt the family. That's what it feels like. The Democrats are literally daring Republicans to respond, and they know that if they ever did, the country would disintegrate, and the country we love. And of course, in true Democrat fashion, that they would just use that opportunity to blame the Republicans for doing exactly what they did. So essentially, what they're doing, they're exploiting our dedication to our nation. They are holding us freaking hostage. But here's what's important to remember. If we ever were to stoop to their level of lawlessness, then we've already lost. Everything's gone. That's the way it feels to me. Let me know in the comments if you agree, but they have literally burned it down. We have a shadow of what our country once was. That's what we have right now. So the question isn't about playing their game. It's about what actions can we take to take it all back. And I got a little rabbit hole there, but Republicans, Matt Gaetz, his call to action, it represents the frustration of a lot of people, myself included. People who feel the traditional political process, it's been manipulated and it has been weaponized, but not against Donald Trump, against us, against every right thing. It's been weaponized for partisan gain. It's not serving its intended purpose, and it hasn't for a long, long time. And, it is true that Matt Gaetz, this is a pretty strong stance against what he views as biased prosecution. And, it's forcing a pretty significant discussion about the role of, if any, that the Justice Department really does have in politics. The state of the Republican Party and the dynamic between the leadership, you want to call it, and its base. Many Republicans, myself included, we're pissed, man. We are not getting leadership. There is no meaningful response from any of the party leadership in the face of what a lot of us see as weaponization of not just the justice system, but the entire political system. It feels like the leadership is more concerned with maintaining their place in the establishment. And literally that's it. There's some results, that proves that it's not just a few people that feel this way. President Trump's, his political action committee, they got money coming out of their ears. And the Republican National Committee and a lot of the state parties, they're broke. They are having a real hard time. And, all it can really mean is the base, the real grassroots Republicans, they are fed up with inaction. They want something that actually works. And this shows, I think, this giant gap between the party's grassroots and its leadership, you want to call it, the Mitch McConnells of the world. The grassroots supporters, who I think really are the bulk of the Republican Party, they're generally on board with Make America Great Again movement, policy. They don't feel representative by rhinos like Mike Pence, Mitch McConnell, Mitt Romney, Chris Christie, just to name a few of the fan favorites. These establishment puppets, which is what they are, they're out of touch with the base. And they're really out of touch with basically reality. They're completely beholden to their donors. They care about the interests of the political elite over you and me. Mike Pence literally told us, we're not his concern. The populist, grassroots, they're the driving force of the real Republican Party right now. The donor class, the controlled leadership, they're heading for a collision with us, and they're going to go broke. What I think will come out on the other end is a deal, a GOP led by the populist right, people like Gaetz, people like Chip Roy, people like Andy Biggs, where they have values, they have concerns, and interests of the base are aligned. They're actually represented. So on the other hand, the GOP led by the establishment is a party where the GOP elected officials, they prioritize the values, the concerns, the interests of the political elite. And a good rule of thumb, when CNN is happy with a Republican, he's got to go. If the Republican Party wants to remain viable, we got to figure this stuff out. We're all watching to see what the leadership does. Will they follow Matt Gaetz' lead and push back against, what they know? They have to know is the weaponization of the Justice Department. Will they do anything? And what will they do? Let me know in the comments what you think. That's just my take, guys. I thought you'd find that interesting. Let me know, like I said, what you think. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. See you in the next one.